Alright, I had a problem with my stem being really stiff, and I fixed it. It was an easy fix. Anybody can do this. First thing you will need to do is to stop up your sink, or put a towel down so you don't lose any parts. You may need a wrench like this. You may need to replace the O-rings. Best thing to do is to take the broken one. If you have one that's broken, go to your hardware store and try and find one that matches. You may need Allen wrenches, or I have a set like this that's much more convenient. And you will probably need to pop off this little stopper right there to find the set screw to take the handle off. So I've turned off the water, so we're ready to go. Good thing to do is to pop your parts into a little dish so you don't lose them, and then you're going to find the correct size Allen wrench to take this little screw off. You're going to turn it to the left. And you're going to take this top part off. So I found my crescent wrench was too small for this, so I had to go and find this wrench. So this is a cartridge. If my faucet had been leaking, this would have had to have been replaced. It has two little protrusions there that fit right back inside, so I'll have to be careful to get that right in the right spot. Now, you could take this off, but for this repair, I don't really need to do that. I'm just going to pull this whole thing off, and this O-ring right here, where the trouble was. So I was getting a lot of black stuff oozing from the bottom here, and I tried this plumber's grease, just plain plumber's grease, and it worked for a while, but it didn't do the job for very long. So instead I got this silicone grease from Ace Hardware, and you can see I stored it in a plastic bag because it's rather watery. And because it's silicone, it can be a messy cleanup. It's a little bit watery. So I replaced the O-ring. The O-ring sits right here, and it is not stretchy. So I had to pull it down and just place it in this little groove right here. It was broken from all the wear and tear, and just put a little bit right here. This silicone grease is waterproof. And then I also greased up the very bottom of the stem here and the inside. Put that back on again. Now if you spill this silicone grease all over the place, I found vinegar cleans it up pretty well. Vinegar and then maybe some dish soap. And then I make sure that my cartridge fits in those two little holes down in there. And I can also grease this up, wouldn't hurt. A little grease on there. Now if you don't tighten this up, it's going to leak underneath, so I can tighten it, give it another quarter turn at least. Make sure it's nice and snug. And what I like to do is I like to get this started into the faucet. So it's just peeking through the little hole there. Because it has to fit in this little notch right there. And I back it out a little bit and try and make sure this is even with that little notch. Tighten it up. Make sure it's going to stay on there. Okay, and before I get too set on this, I'll turn on the water, make sure nothing is leaking. And it spins nicely. Then I can just pop this back in and I am finished with this job. It won't be aggravating me anymore. It's making me crazy. It spins very freely.